Almost 5 years ago, I picked up this iMac G3 off of Facebook Marketplace for only $50. But just how sweet is this strawberry iMac 26 years later? Well, I haven't powered it up since I bought it, so I think it's time we should find out.
Back in the late 90s, a financially difficult time for Apple, the colourful iMacs really were a breath of fresh air compared to the bland beige computers of the past. An all-in-one machine with rounded, friendly aesthetics was inviting to those who lacked computing experience, and the handle made it a little bit easier to carry around, although the CRT display obviously added a fair amount of heft. Yes, in April of 1999, Apple refreshed their colourful iMac range. Most notably, these new models had a faster 333MHz G3 processor. But apart from that, there really wasn't any difference compared to the earlier fruit colour iMacs. 26 years later, does this iMac G3 still run? It sure does, even running the same operating system it would have had back in 1999. And I made a YouTube short if you want to see this startup in its full, uninterrupted glory. It also appears as if this iMac has never been upgraded, with the original 32MB of RAM present. I was obsessed with these computers when I was younger, and the first ones I owned were actually given to me by a computer technician at Recycled Office Shop.
I'm here today to just give you a quick video of the free iMac that I received from a local computer shop. Oh yeah, I received 2.
The exact same strawberry model I have here for today's video, and this was filmed around 15 years ago, and I had to actually carry that iMac back on my bike to get it home. The production values of my videos have improved a little bit since then, but sadly the old Recycled Office Shop building was demolished back in 2012. They used to let me look through the e-waste bin accessible through that door on the side. Oh, and here's a blast from the past, one of their weird ads from 2006.
We work out just what you need, and it may not be the supercomputer that'll cost you squillions.
Well, that was definitely some nightmare fuel. And while they rarely sold Apple computers, I did find an archive from 2002 with the 266MHz iMac G3s for sale. They had 54 of them. And the old location of Recycled Office Shop still sits vacant until this day. They never rebuilt after demolishing that old structure about 13 years ago. Now, how have the internals of this iMac fared? As far as I know, it's literally never been opened since its construction in 1999. With a fair amount of wiggling, eventually I got the underside cover to slide out. I didn't want to force the plastics, which might not be that strong anymore. And surprisingly, there is a fairly standard looking DB15 video connector that attaches to the mainboard. And some bits of plastic have broken off from somewhere. I genuinely can't work out where these came from. Oddly enough, it appears as if there was a serial port planned for this iMac at some point, but I'd be guessing that wasn't really necessary thanks to the Ethernet and USB ports that we use for networking and of course printer connectivity. Keeping the processor and CRT components cool is this rather dusty fan, and all of the dust implies that it did see a lot of use, and thankfully the PRAM battery does not appear to have leaked on the mainboard, and those batteries do tend to destroy old Macs like this after a few decades of sitting around. And these older iMac G3s also use small laptop-style RAM modules, 2 slots to be in total, with one on the removable processor card, for some reason. iMac designs became a lot more refined in future models. At least the earlier ones had very easy access to the drives and mainboard. Made in Japan in June of 1999. Leave a comment below if you're younger than this battery. This tray-loading optical drive is date-stamped July of 1999, so it's likely this iMac was actually purchased near the end of 1999, and removing it reveals the original 6GB hard disk that I'll admit is quite loud when the system is running. We honestly take our silent solid-state drives for granted these days, and given how old these connectors are, I tried to be gentle dislodging them. I remember thinking the first computer I owned with USB ports was so cool. We were living in the future, no need for PS2 keyboards and mice anymore. Even when I got my first ever iMac for free from Recycled Office Shop, it felt futuristic, even though it was very outdated at the time, even back in 2010. Later model iMac G3s actually had no fan at all. Yes, they relied entirely on air flowing out of the top to keep them cool, and perhaps that's why more of these older tray-loading iMacs are still working. Proper cooling is pretty important for the longevity of these Macs. And that added airflow has clearly caked on a lot of dust, it seems. Perhaps some moisture built up as the little metal shield above the processor has some corrosion, but underneath it seems fine, just a little bit dusty. If anyone knows why they decided to place the second RAM slot on the processor card, please let us know in the comments below. Digging in further, we can now remove the hard disk, which is held in place by two Phillips head screws. It's a Quantum Fireball CR, a model that was first released in 1999. I used to love collecting these when I was a kid. Some things I probably shouldn't have done with the old hard disks I had lying around though. 16 years later, I do take a little bit more care with my old electronics, and that heatsink is simply held on by this little metal bracket. The G3 processor in here mustn't have needed much cooling considering just how small this metal piece is. The PowerPC 750 CPU was first introduced all the way back in 1997 in the Power Macintosh G3. I'm pretty sure I got this one from the primary school I attended back in 2009. I kind of wish I still owned it, as you don't see many of these computers anymore. Using some isopropyl alcohol, I got the die surface nice and clean. The little heatsink used what looks to be a thermal sheet to transfer heat. It has no depth at all, so I probably wouldn't call it a thermal pad, and I'll simply use some thermal paste instead. Now I'll clean up the tarnished interference shield. I'm not entirely sure what this actually is used for. I gave it a good scrub with some Ajax spray and wipe, and I don't think this will rust away or anything. It's just really some flimsy metal that's not likely galvanized. I then applied a bit of silver paint to the affected areas. I really don't have to do this, but I think it looks a little bit nicer now. And using some eucalyptus oil, I cleaned off the dusty casing, which had definitely never been wiped off before. You might be wondering why I'm not upgrading this at all. Well, I want this to be a real time capsule, exactly as it would have been back in 1999. But of course, I will be putting in a new PRAM battery. The old one held no voltage at all, which isn't exactly surprising. In goes a fresh PK cell, which sits at 3.6 volts currently. I do think it's pretty cool that the whole assembly comes out in one piece and is now back together. If I were to try and open up the display assembly, there's probably a pretty good chance I would break some of the plastic clips. So I don't think I'll dig in any further since the computer seems to be running fine. These have to be some of my favorite Apple computers, mainly due to getting heaps of them for peanuts back when I was younger. Sadly, it does seem as if people want a lot of money for them now, and any gunk on the casing came off very easily with some eucalyptus oil. Even this scrape on the side was no challenge at all. Cosmetically, this is a near perfect example. Clearly it has been well looked after. The strawberry casing is so vibrant and has very few scratches on it now. The only visible wear is the internal plastic of the optical drive yellowing slightly, but considering this is almost 26 years old, I think it's held up pretty nicely. Funnily enough, not even 6 months after, in late 1999, Apple released the first slot-loading iMacs. These had quite a few different design changes, faster processors, and double the base RAM. I actually made a video about this particular iMac a few years ago. So, does our cleaned out iMac still turn on? It sure does. Surprisingly, this iMac has never had the OS updated. Its whole life has been spent in version 8.6, and taking just shy of 1 minute 30 to boot up. Not too bad, honestly. 32 megabytes of RAM wouldn't go very far in a modern computer though. One quirk with filming these iMac CRT displays are the weird refresh rates. I can't set my camera's shutter speed to match any of them. The closest I can dial in works best at the resolution of 1024 by 768. The best I can do at 640 by 480 is a little too distracting, sadly. Even worse at 800 by 600, which is the optimal resolution for this CRT. But for your viewing pleasure, I'll be running it at 1024 by 768. From what I can tell, this computer was used up until 2005. And here are some Muppet pictures for some reason, which I got a good laugh out of. A Facebook shortcut is pretty surprising to see on such an old machine though. Clearly this was used for school, but likely didn't originate from a school. Like a lot of older Macs from this vintage, there's a stash of old games on here, a South Park themed one as well. It's clearly a Space Invaders clone, and you play as Eric Cartman. And that wasn't the only South Park game. There's also this one called Snood for some reason. Just to be sure, I opened up the optical drive, which likely has not seen the light of day for almost 20 years. Honestly, this is a cool bit of history, preserved as it was last used back in 2005. I'm pretty glad to finally test it out, and I'll be sure to keep it for many more years to come. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and a huge thanks to all the channel members that support my video creation here on YouTube. Have a good one.